Hello, I'm Mr. Burke. Today we're going to look at the very basics of isometric drawings. This is a pictorial drawing style, isometric, similar to planimetric, 2-point perspective, 1-point perspective, and oblique. They are all pictorial drawing styles in the fact that they are all 3D. Isometric is one that you will see probably most often. It is the most common 3D pictorial drawing style that design and technology students come across. It's used in engineering drawings. It's used in exploded views, things like this. It can also be used as promotional material. They often tend to use perhaps more 2-point perspective to show what the product is really like, but in a more technical sense, they would use isometric. Now, isometric uses 30-degree lines at either side. So you can see I've got isometric backing paper here, which I'm going to use. If I wasn't, I would use a drawing board and I would use my 30-degree set square. There's lines going this way at 30 degrees, and then there's lines going this way at 30 degrees. But to save ourselves a bit of time, I'm just going to use my isometric paper. So if I wanted to draw my classic L-shaped block in isometric, I would do as such. So again, it's pictorial drawing, it's 3D, so there's only 3 types of lines on this page. There's lines going this way, there's lines going this way, and there's lines going straight up and down vertical. So I will draw just this edge first. Now I'm not going to do this to a proper size, but what I've drawn is just that line there. Now I'm using a red pen and I will line this out in a black marker so you can see it. I would normally do drawings with pencil, but just so you can see it on the screen, I'll use a red pen and a black marker to line in. So I'm going to draw first off this side here that you can see, which is this classic L shape. And I'm just kind of doing it to a size. So we can see in that situation, I'm even just going to line that in so you can see it a bit easier. I've done my lines off in this direction at 30 degrees. This one's at 30 degrees and every other line is just straight down vertically. Okay, so what I've drawn is I've drawn just this side here. Okay, I'm now going to draw over this way, again using my grid paper at 30 degrees. Coming over, back, up, over, over, over. Now, if you are doing some drawings, it is good to use grid paper for this. You can also use grid paper and a tracing plate, which is like a glass top that has a light behind it. Or if it's quite light paper, you can put the grid paper behind it so you can see the lines through it. Now, one last line here is just to connect that. Okay, so it's a great way of showing your ideas a bit more detailed. Okay, it's a very simple, easy to do drawing style. You can also do it freehand, but it's nice to do it with grid paper as well. But that is the very basics of isometric. Going back this way at 30 degrees, this way at 30 degrees. Okay, and it is in proportion. Now, the only thing that will change with isometric is if there was a hole, for example, up here, it would look like an ellipse. Okay, so isometric drawings are good in terms of engineering drawings because you can still take a measurement. Every line in this way is accurate. Okay, but a line across the corners will be inaccurate. So, for example, this should be a proper square, but from here to here is not the same. This is a smaller axis and this is a larger axis between there. So it's not accurate across the corners, but going this way it is accurate and going this way it is accurate in terms of its dimensions. Okay, again, most seen in engineering drawings. This is isometric.